I want to say, of course, every universe is paralleled to every other. And often there is, shall we say, interactions between those that are comparable. In other words, if you are in my reality, then of course I might allow certain bleeding from your reality into mine. So you might affect, or I might allow affection of one reality to the next. Then one might, alongside of that, be influenced, shall we say, by the shift in perceptions from one of your realities to another. In other words, if one was meditating, shall we say, and considering another person's experiential point of view, then and they were in some fashion putting themselves in that perspective, and from that position decide that that reality is somewhat more to their liking, shall we say, by shifting their consciousness into the new framework, their own reality would, shall we say, no longer be focused in consciousness. You understand? So they would then experience a different nature. In other words, a shift in their own framework and perceptions. Do you follow what I mean? So each one of your decisions that you make in life, shall we say, has its own pathway. And it will unfold depending on the level of consciousness and thoughts that that particular aspect of self relies on. But it will not be something one would experience because one is not focused in it. Does that make some sort of sense? So you seem to have one reality in which you are focused upon. One reality that is consistent over time. In other words, seems to be a continual thread. But if you look backwards over your life, you may find yourself at, shall we call them, critical points, where if you look at it, you do not seem to follow the path that the previous part of your life would have suggested. Does that make sense? So if you are in, shall we say, a habitual pathway, you are going down a certain road, it seems as if that is going to have a certain outcome, and suddenly, for some unknown reason, your life changes. As if you had slipped from one train to another. As if you had arrived at a station, quickly nipped off the one train and onto another. And now you are moving in a different direction. Over time, you forget that you have swapped. And it seems as if you were always on the same train. Of course, because you were always going to the transitionary station.
Thanks for watching. We hope this content resonates and with your help raises planetary awareness. You can get free access to full-length channeling videos by registering at channelingmercredan.com/subscribe or clicking the link in the description.